how to get your desire straight from the mouths of my six-figure mentors. This is information they have told me over the years that I've compiled together. It's actually three separate mentors that is compiled into this one video. Information I had to learn separately that now all makes sense once together. So there's a bigger picture here that I want to share, and you get the closest to your desire by surrounding yourself in the energy field of your desire. So the easiest way to do that is through YouTube videos and through mentors. So what you don't want to do is take the long route and create an unnecessary hero journey where you're putting yourself through so much pain. You have to be poor to get rich. You have to be heartbroken to be in a happy relationship. You have to experience the really, really deep extreme to get what you want in life. That's the hard route. You don't have to do that. The easiest way to get closest to your desire is not through the hardships. It's through just getting close to the people who already have that desire and doing exactly what they say to do. And the thing about this is a game of blind guidance, which is almost like your subconscious mind. So when you have blind guidance with something, you're putting your blinders on, like the sales girls say, put your blinders on and you get to ask questions after you've done the thing. After the time is up, you get to ask all the questions. You get to question everything. You get to say how people are wrong, and you get to say whatever you want to. But while the process is going on of someone who has what you want and you're following that process, don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Keep your head down, keep your eyes forward, and blindly follow the guidance that you're being given, because if you were able to get that thing, you wouldn't be questioning what you're being told, right? So there's some beliefs, some alignment that's not fully there yet, which is why you're not at that desire. There's something that's misaligned with your thoughts, either the desire itself, your environment, whatever it is. You don't know what it is because you don't have the thing. So if you listen and you take your time to listen to the people who are already having the thing currently, then you get to it the easiest way, instead of creating that unnecessary hero journey, which is the fact that you have to be hurt to be happy. That is the stupidest, most dumbest, most unnecessary thing that you can do for yourself. And the faster you realize the things you're doing in your life that are creating that hero journey for you, you'll stop doing them, because there's no point. You actually just hurt yourself trying to get what you want when you could have just had what you want without all the trauma attached. Okay, so this stuff is 80% non-tangible stuff. And I got oil on my shirt from my body oil, and I knew it was going to get on my shirt, and I was like, I'm gonna do it anyways, because this is my ritual. This is like my thing I do in the morning for my self-care, and I knew with this shirt it would show up, and here we are. So the non-tangible, I mean, like the invisible work, the thing about this is that there's two parts. I've talked about this in other videos too, but there are two parts. There's your body, and then there's your subconscious mind, all the things you can't see, the intangible. You can't touch a thought. You can't touch a feeling. You can't touch emotions, but you can touch your skin. You can touch your face. You can touch your hair. So the intangibles, the things you can't touch, the invisible work, is so much important than changing the vessel of your body, because you have to invest in your mind. Now, if you could go to the gym and just go to the gym and force yourself to go to the gym and get your vessel to do these things, right, then you would have already done them, okay? Or you would have never had to even watch this or click on this video. This video would have never showed up for you, because you would have been able to already get the thing. But some people are too focused on the vessel, and because they're too focused on the vessel of doing the hair and makeup, whatever, is like the thing I do anyway. So like, okay, but that's not what's getting me to my desire. What's getting me to my desire is all the work that I do behind the scenes to live the life that I'm living, and that's everything going to be explained for this video. So the first person, I'm debating on if I want to share the names, but I might as well. So the first person, who's my mentor, who I'm going to be sharing what she talks about for this, is Sawa Ali. So how to get to your desired state. So there are some questions. This video is going to be questions, illogical alignment to take to get to your desire. Okay, so follow this video throughout. You are going to have to take notes and put them down below when you're taking your notes, because I want to know that you're actually doing these things, because I'm telling you they are the easiest way to get to the highest version of yourself. So the first thing you need to do is be completely honest with the desire that you want. So the desire that you want is not the one that you think is the best one. It's not the one that you think is the right one. It's literally the one that you want to do. Okay, so and I have so many notes, so I'm just going over to my other notes section. You have to pick a desire that you have actually already wanted, no matter if you think it's bad, if you think it's good, if you think it's not going to work. Whatever you think about it is not the problem. Don't pick your desire based on how you feel right now. Oh, well, I feel like it's not going to work. I feel like this is not good. I feel like this is a shallow belief. This is a belief that people shouldn't have. This is all about money. This is all about shallow life. We're literally in the 3D world. Okay. So, regardless of the life that you live, there are going to be shallow parts which allow there to be depth in your life. You can't just have all depth in your life where you're trying to chase and grab for and hold on to all the depth you have, but you're scared to hold on to shallow things, like things you actually enjoy, things that are really, I don't want to say dumb, but they're just small, they're minuscule compared to the big scheme of things, but they're still important. Like they still are important to your journey. The desire is not the freaking problem. The desire is the thing that's already been done that you need to go on the path of to achieve or to gain or to be able to have tangibly materialize it. So the desire is not the problem. So if you think your desire is bad, that doesn't mean don't go for it. That doesn't, like, the whole point of this video is like gonna take you from the desire that you may not even want to be trying to achieve to becoming a person who can have that. So the first question is, what are their thoughts? What are their actions? What are their desires? What are their opinions, their beliefs, their truths? So like that's what they believe is true. What are their habits? How do they speak? What is their language? What do they not do? What do they not say? What do they say? What do they do? How do they dress? What do they do throughout the day? What do they prioritize? What do they no longer entertain? So this is things you no longer accept, and things that are now your boundaries, and things they don't do, basically things they don't do for themselves or for other people anymore, things they don't entertain. So this is directly straight from her. I think this is day 5, maybe. She had a series. I think this is day 5. Yeah, day 5 of her series. All that was listed in her YouTube video. And it has been the most helpful thing ever. I'm giving full credit to Saba Ali. Love her. She mentioned all these things in her video, and that's exactly what you should do as well. So instead of having everyone needing to go find her video, I can also share them here and just give her credit, because then we get to spread the consciousness of people trying to get to their desires. So when you write all these things down, you ask yourself all these questions. When I finish this video and you have a list, a whole page full of questions to ask yourself, don't do it during the video. Just listen and jot down every question that I'm giving you. When you have a whole list of questions and you go to do them after the video, you're going to have to put some of those things into your daily routine. So that is like, if I say, what do they do? And you say, oh, they go to the gym every day. Okay, well, now you're going to have to start implementing that. But you can't just say, okay, I'm going to start going to the gym, because I'm going to give you a very long list of questions that are going to show you exactly how to get your desire. So if I'm giving you this long list, you only have 24 hours in a day. There's absolutely no freaking way that you're going to be able to do all these things in one singular day, right? You have to prioritize what's important, put in the things that you can in your day that you actually can, and ignore the rest, right? So the whole list of things, not everything is going to get in there, but this is to show you, to reveal to you, to expose to you what your actual beliefs need to be, and what your desire actually consists of. Because your desire is to get the money, get the girlfriend, get the boyfriend, whatever. But it's all based on a feeling that you want to have. And we're really exposing the feelings behind this. This is how you're going to get to that reality. So once you go through the whole list of things and you see a few things that you can literally tangibly put into your daily routine, You have to use this structure, which helped me. And the reason why I love this structure is because it's it's feasible. It like makes sense. If you were to if you were to start wanting to go to the gym and you just say, "Oh, I'm going to go to the gym." That we literally talked about that in the beginning of the video. You are trying to make your body, your physical body, do something, your vessel do something that your mind is not it's not aligned to that yet. So you may go to the gym for a week, but you're going to stop. You may go to the gym for a month or 2 months or 3 months, but you're going to stop. Okay, you're gonna stop. You're not gonna have that consistency. And that means you're not gonna fully align to the desire, because you don't just like stop breathing because you stop thinking about it. No, that's part of our human nature. So that's something we don't have to think about, something that is automatic. I don't think about breathing the same way every single day. I don't think about going to the gym. I just go. I wake up in the morning and my brain is like, I have a few things I do before then. I may or may not share those later, but I do these 4 things to pour back into myself in the morning. Immediately, my brain is like, put on clothes for a walk for gym. And I always either do a 30-minute walk or I do a run or a walk, running, jogging situation in the gym for a mile. Every single morning. It's a non-negotiable. It always happens, and I never think about it. At this point, it is automatic. I feel sick to my stomach when I don't go. When I'm like, oh no, I don't want to go today. No, like my body has a visceral reaction to it. So that's where you want to get to, right? And that's what we're going to go through this video, because you want to start by looking at what you did yesterday. And so when I first started learning how to do routines and making your life better, whatever, when I was in elementary school, because I've been doing this for a very long time, I was in elementary school making morning routines. Literally, it was like something that was given, an idea that was given to me. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have YouTube. I don't even think YouTube existed. And I was just having all these things that were like weighing on me to just do. And I was like, why am I doing a morning routine? I don't even really know how to spell for real, but okay, like, sure. And as I got older and I started to really evolve this idea, I realized that you cannot do a morning routine just out of thin air. You have to use your most recent routine. So use what you did yesterday, because that is literally going to be your most recent work. That is your most current frequency. Or maybe if you're watching this at night, perfect. Think about what you did today. So you don't have to think about yesterday. Think about what you did today. So if the day's already over, look at what you did that day. If you're watching this in the morning, think about what you did yesterday. Okay. So think about what the last full day you had. What did you do from morning to night? That is your literal current point. When you look at a map or you go to the mall, you see the directory for all the stores, and you're going and you're looking at things and they're telling you like, oh, this store's here, you're here, blah, blah. This is literally the "you're here" sign. Like, that's where you are. And it's really I call it self-sabotaging when you use a routine that you haven't done. Because why would you be using a routine that you haven't done? Like, you are trying to make up a morning routine, and so you write all the things you wish you would be doing, you wish you could be doing, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to add in going to the gym. I'm going to add in all these things from the list that Kai just gave me. Well, if you're already not doing the list of things, what makes you think you're just going to do it if you add some extra stuff in there? Use what you already have, and take the answers and take the answers you're going to get from this long list of questions, and then put that into there. These questions are going to take you an hour or 2 hours to understand, but it literally shifts your reality. And if you want to lock in and do this for 21 days straight, because it takes 21 days to form a new habit, if you do it for 21 days, I want you to come back to this video after 21 days and tell me that your life hasn't changed. You won't be able to say that hasn't changed, because it absolutely will get you closer to your desire. So the second mentor is the sales girls. They have a thing called Excellence Week. And I don't want to share too much because I think it's only for membership. But this is literally to test if your desire is the right desire. So you're going to also ask yourself these set of questions, and you're going to understand if this is your right desire. So the first thing is to find the desire, right? Just pick one. Like I said before, pick one, even if it seems wrong, if it seems shallow, if it seems like you shouldn't want it, if it seems like social media will be against it, if you're ashamed of it, if you wouldn't want to even share it with your family or your friends. Like, if you wouldn't want to share it with anybody, you're even scared to say it out loud, it doesn't matter. If it scares you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter what the desire is. The second thing to do after that, so there's picking the desire, and then there's 1, 2, 3 under it, okay? The second thing after picking the desire, so you pick whatever your desire is. Doesn't matter if it makes you scared. Doesn't matter if you're ashamed. Doesn't matter if it's shallow. Doesn't matter if it's about money, about love, about whatever, about something society doesn't like. Does not freaking matter. When you understand that, you pick some things that you would probably be doing if you had that desire in 3 years. And when I say doing, I mean decisions. So think of 3 decisions that you would be making in 3 years if that thing was already a thing. So if my desire is to, I'm actually going to use a manifestation that I have already checked off. My desire was to have a really great friendship group. Why was that hard to say? A friendship group of high value, smart, intelligent, actually beautiful, young, so my age, business owners or high income earners as friends. To go out to dinners, look cute, etc. That was a literal desire. I'm like, I want the girl friendship group. If you watch one of my other videos, you know that I preach very heavily, and sometimes I don't have the faith in this completely as well, but it literally freaking works. I just stopped, and this one's an iced coffee, a white chocolate iced coffee. Oh my gosh. So delicious. So I don't keep the faith in it all the time because it's very hard to keep the faith in it, but I'm obviously it's a lot easier to keep it now that I've been doing this for so long. It is letting go of everything that doesn't currently serve that desire. So if I have a friend group right now who I don't like, I don't need to be their friend. I don't need to burn the bridge. I'm not saying go curse them out and block them and burn the bridge. What I'm saying is I don't need to be their friend anymore. Make that decision. I don't need to be there. These are not my actual friends. These are not the friends I desire. This is not the friend group that I see myself really evolving and growing in. Make that your truth. Make that your freaking desire. Make that so clear. Like, oh, actually, like, no, these aren't the friends. Like, these friends that sit and send me TikToks all day that talk about other people, they're always texting me about somebody and some drama. They aren't uplifting. I'm scared to share my goals with them. I'm scared to share my vision board. I'm scared to show like who I am as a person. I feel like I'm always acting around these people. I don't want these to be my friends. Well, I shouldn't be keeping those people as friends if I don't believe that those are my friend group. So what I'm saying is, if you have a desire, let go of what you currently have and let go with grace. Literally. And it takes the utmost faith. And if you're watching to this point of the video and you're like, oh, wait, that sounds kind of hard, then you're not ready. You're not ready to have your desire. You still want to be stuck. And that's not. Like, you need to go to my bio and book an unstuck consult. That's what you need, like, stat. Because there's no reason that you should be knowing that you want this great friend group, but you're like, no, I want to hold on to the one that I have, and I'll just wait until the other friends come along, and then I'll switch them out. I'm like, I want as least amount of time possible in the isolation phase by myself. I want the least amount of time possible between the 2 different friend groups. I want to just stay with this thing because it's so comfortable. And then when my new friend group comes along, I'll switch them out. That's not how it works. Because you're basically saying, okay, I'm going to stay in this desire. and then I'm magically just going to jump over to this desire, and get what I want. Well, when does the transition happen between having this desire and this desire? You just think you're going to wake up one day and no longer, and you're just going to like wake up one day and attract the friend group to you. Like, what? So you want to spend all day, every day, gossiping with people, having the friend group that you know you don't really want to have, but they're just like your friends from elementary school, or people that don't do what you want to do in life, or they're not even on the same like mental plane. It's very different from having a friend group. It's very different from having a friend group that everyone's in a different place in life. Everyone, like, there's business owners that have a small business. Some people have a big business. Some people work. Some people aren't working, and some people are married and their husband's paying for everything. Like, there's a lot of different spectrums, but everyone's on the same like mental plane. That's very different from you having friends that you're not even on the same plane with mentally. Like, your friends don't understand the success that you desire. They don't even see it as a possibility. That's very different. That's very, very different. That's like a college student hanging out with a kindergartner versus a college student that's a math major hanging out with another college student who's a physics major. Like, those are two completely different things, right? So if your friend group is not on the same mental plane as you, they don't even understand the success you want, then that's not your ideal friend group. Okay, so that's how I would work through that how I worked through that specific example for myself. And I started to ask, okay, so now I have my desire, I let go of the thing that I don't want, which is this current friend group. Okay, so now I'm isolated, kind of by myself, but just chilling. Well, what are the things that I'd be doing if I had this friend group? I think 3 years might be a little much for this example. I think I manifested them in like 6 weeks, 5 or 6 weeks. I don't even remember. It's been a freaking while. But let's just say it's 3 months instead of 3 years, right? Um, and I can say that it feels comfortable to be shorter because I've done it in less time. But if 3 years seems like a good amount of time for you to manifest a friend group, then use that example. You would say, okay, well, what decision would I be making once I let them go? I open the space for this new thing to come in. What decision would I be making? Well, how would I be dressing, thinking, talking, etc.? Where would I be going? Where would my friends be going? Right? So I think I made a video about this before, not on this channel, but it was specifically these three things, right? So what are the three things that I would be deciding to do? I would go buy a freaking dinner dress and dinner heels so that when I get that friend group, I have something to freaking wear. Next thing is I would start to look at or research or ask people about restaurants that are really nice for dinner. Because I would want to have a list of things so that when my friends are like, hey girl, let's go out to eat. And I'm like, okay, here's my list of suggestions. I can actually contribute to that relationship. That's something else that a decision I would probably be making during that thing. I'd probably be helping them decide what place to eat. I would probably be dressing the part. Another decision that I would probably be making is spending a lot of my time. Um, well, let's not use that example. Let's use something less personal. Um, so if you're wanting to have this friend group, I talked about this in a previous video. Let's go with this. Being vulnerable. I would make the decision to work on my vulnerability because as a friend, I would want to be a good friend to these women. So when you see like, oh, I want this ideal friend group, it stops becoming, oh, I just need this group of friends. And it goes to, what does it actually take? There are so many decisions, interactions that happen while you're having that desire. So you really, really break it down to yourself and say, like, what are the actual decisions I'd be making? I would want to be a good friend to these women. I would want to be there to suggest things that we could go and eat at or places we can go and eat at. I would want to have maybe my decision is to get my own financial life together so that I can share achievements because now I have women to share achievements too. Like there are so many things that you can start to do. So the next thing after that is to take that action and attach a verb for it or like an action verb or a verb. So let's just say my decision was to go and um, be vulnerable, right? Well, let's not use that one. Let's use finding places for dinner. The action of finding places for dinner that we just talked about in the past example, this video is going so deep. But it's really the full picture of how to get there. So when you are looking at your action of finding places to eat, the verb of going along with it will probably be resourcefulness, right? I want to like go research places. I want to be curious, right? Curiosity, and decisiveness about not decisiveness, but resourcefulness. So being resourceful and curious are going to get me to understand what places we're going to go eat at. So now I can start asking people about like the action of asking people about the places to eat, or researching it online and looking up TikTok and YouTube and Google reviews on these places is my resourcefulness. So now you have those verbs for that, those action verbs for those actions. And then you say, are these actually actions I'm willing to take? And if you're not willing to be resourceful, and you're not willing to be, what was the other one? Curious, right? If you currently feel right now deep down in your soul that you don't have the time to be curious, you're like, well, I work a 9 to 5 job. I don't have the time to be researching all this stuff. I don't have the time for this. Or you're like, well, I don't really have the time to be resourceful because I don't want to look all those things up. That sounds boring and stupid. I don't want to look those things up. You see how if you were to just put those things on your to-do list or your calendar, or start doing these actions, that they would never fully align because you didn't even want to do them in the first place. So ask yourself, are you able to do those things and then fully decide? So maybe you're not wanting to be resourceful, but you're like, well, I don't want to Google them myself. So I'm only going to use my curiosity. I'm going to fully go into curiosity and look everywhere I can for those things that come to me. So every single time every single time that I am out, or every single day of my life, I'm going to constantly be curious. I'm deciding to constantly be curious about the places that I'm going to start compiling in a list for me and my girlfriends to go eat. So that's really where that comes from. And then if you're a person that's like, well, I don't want to be curious about that because I just feel like that would probably take too long and that sounds stupid, then you just choose resourcefulness. You're like, okay, well, I'm just going to look it up. A Google search is faster than asking somebody else and waiting for them to come to me. So it's dependent on who you are as a person. If you're a person that's very like go-getty, like a go-getter, or you're a person that lets things come to you, or you're a person that just likes to wait it out, right? But at the end of the day, you're still choosing a action to go along with your desire. So that's everything from that excellence week. And then the last thing, again, all three of these things are talking about the exact same thing. They're just tied together, which is freaking cool. The last thing is you have to be it before you can have it. I talked about that in the beginning. You have to literally get closer to the desire. It's not just going to like jump into your body one random day. Like it literally has to be there so that your desire can catch up to your reality. Like you have to literally be it before it actually materializes in your reality. It's just going to catch up to you. And you have to do it for long enough to where it can catch up to you. So you have to hold that decisiveness, or that curiosity, or that resourcefulness for as long as freaking possible. You keep looking for places, you keep building this list of things, you keep finding the best, or keep researching the best dinner dress and shoes until you make a decision on it. Like you hold true to these actions, and soon enough you're going to fall in love more with the journey of that resourcefulness or that curiosity or these whatever. And you're going to not even care about the desire of getting the actual friend group. And that's when it all falls into place. So this one is actually from Neuro Knowledge. I liked some of his videos, and this one I really, really liked. So this is directly from his video. The questions for this one is, well, it's not really a question. I put it into an action. So the first thing is to don't take action when something triggers you. So if you go to look for dresses for this dinner date these dinner dates you want to have with these girlfriends, and you see everything's expensive, you're like, this is too expensive. This is too this is too that. That's literally your old self trying to trigger you and bring you back to like, don't leave me. I'm your old self. Please keep me. Please don't kill me. Right. So, um, yeah, when you are letting things trigger you, you're essentially moving farther away from your desire because you're moving back. You're literally moving backwards. And as long as you're moving forward, the blocks are not pushing you back unless you go back. Okay, so if you're being triggered by the price of the dresses, if you say, okay, right now I'm super triggered by how much these dresses cost, I'm not going to research anything else for the rest of today or this week. I'll check back in it in a few days. And letting it go instead of letting it fully trigger you is literally doing that is pushing you closer to your desire, even though it seems like, oh my gosh, I haven't fully found the dresses, or I haven't been able to get the friend group yet, or you haven't actually got anything tangible yet, but it still feels like you're moving closer to it. And because you're not moving backwards. Moving backwards would be getting triggered by that thing and saying, okay, I'm not gonna do the friend group because it's stupid. I don't even want to buy this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to blah. Like that is gonna put you backwards. The other thing is, how could or would they be thinking? So let's even use this example, right? When it comes to something triggering you, and you're like, okay, well, these dresses are too expensive. Well, what would they think? They would think either, okay, I'm just gonna look at it another day, come back to the same website, look at it another day, or again, like I'm gonna go and look at TikTok and type in inexpensive dresses for dinner dates and go research that way. Or um, like what else could I be doing to also get this same result of, or to make a loophole around this thing that I want, loophole around to getting what I want, which is to find the dress, or to find the restaurants or whatever. Because the thing is, the biggest question here is, what are my other options? When something doesn't work out, what are my other options? When this pops up exactly when I thought I had a friend group, but actually turned out to be terrible and we never ended up being good friends, what do I do? Like, what are my options beyond that? What are my options? What are my options? I would probably get that tattooed on my forehead if I wanted tattoos. What are my options? What are my other options? And what this does is it allows you to change the journey to the goal, but it doesn't change the goal. So the goal of having the friend group is still the same. You're just finding a different option to get there. So what are your other options, right? Like, what else could you, maybe this one website is expensive, but like there are billions of other websites. So what are your other options to keep researching different places? Maybe use keywords like inexpensive or cheap, or um, dinner dresses for teens or something like that. Something that is going to insinuate it's going to be a cheaper price for a younger adult or something like that can literally get you towards that result that you want. And the third thing would be, what do they believe? So it's that, like, not only believing that you can't have it, it's not only believing that you can have it, it's literally also believing that it's not only believing that you can have it, it's believing in the thing that you're doing, like believing in the desire, but also believing like in the actions you're taking. So don't just believe in the desire, actually believe in the things you're doing on a day-to-day basis. And that's why I go back to the first group of questions I had, or the second group of questions I had, when you're making these decisions and you're really breaking down, are these things feasible for me? That's really going to allow you to believe in the thing, because you took so much time to really figure out what exactly that you should be believing in. And then the fourth thing, or believing in, but also doing. And the fourth thing is to ignore everything that's not necessary. So ignoring the fact that you don't have the friends, ignoring the fact that everyone has friends and you feel like you don't, ignoring the fact that you're bored and you wish you had the friends, or ignoring the fact that you let go of this old friend group and you feel bad and guilty because they've been your ride or die since elementary school, and forgetting and ignoring the fact that all these bad things are happening and you don't have your friend group and blah 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 blah. Ignore all of that, because what that is simply, again, your old reality saying, hey guys, you're moving a little bit too far away from me, I need you to come back. Okay, and you don't have to actually go back. That's the thing about it. What are my other options? Well, if I am sad that I don't have this friend group, what else could I be doing? What are my other options? Well, what are your other options? You could do a lot of other things besides worry about the fact that you don't have your friend group yet, right? There are a lot of options. So think to yourself, what are my other options? And as a special note, I just wanted to say that your options are the way that you grow. And it's the way that you can move through life. And this is just my own experience. Obviously, everyone's gonna have a different experience. But you grow faster when you have options. And I say that because, like, if you ask yourself, okay, what are my other options? What are my other options? What are my other options? Just all day. What are my other options? This is my desire. I want to get this desire. What are my other options? Because currently it's not working out. What are my other options? What are my other options? When you see all the other options, let's say you have 5 different options, like, actually, these are all really great options I never would have thought about, because I'm just 3 days into this. I don't know how to actually get the desire. And so you're trying to find, these things to get you to that desire, and you find 5 new options on how to get to your desire. You can pursue all 5 of those options. Now, it's not to say all 5 of them will work out, but let's just say 3 of them work out. And then let's say you go to pursue 2 of them. But then you still have that third option that you started building on. And so now, the next time you're ready to quantum leap, you have options around you to help you quantum leap to the next desire. Because it's very likely that the desire that you have is going to be attached to the desire that you've had previously. So the desire that I have now is just built upon the desires I had when I was 20, right? And I'm living what I prayed for when I was 20, and now the desires that I have now are going to be the foundation of what I do when I'm 40, right? So it's all going to compound on top of each other. When you have options, pursue all your options. Don't take no for an answer, and literally keep going forward.